Moving on, viewers, Brazilian ambassador to India, Kenneth Norega, spoke exclusively to our colleague Soumya over the upcoming BRICS Summit. Here's that exclusive conversation.
Welcome to our exclusive interview with Brazil's ambassador to India, His Excellency Kenneth Norega. As Brazil is all set to host the 17th BRICS Summit in Rio de Janeiro this July, we will dive deep into the summit's key priorities and will also understand the evolving role of BRICS in the global governance. Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us. We would like to begin with understanding what are going to be the key priorities this time in the summit.
Okay, so good afternoon. The key priorities are reform of global governance, which is a founding platform of BRICS. The second one is climate change financing. The third is multilateral regulation of artificial intelligence. The fourth is economic and financial partnership among BRICS countries. The fifth is health cooperation, boosting health partnerships among BRICS countries. And the sixth is the development of the institutions of BRICS.
We have seen how significantly the BRICS has expanded. So how do you depict this expansion and how will you address the challenges of unifying the diverse BRICS members?
Well, you know, I am a BRICS old-timer. I don't know if you're aware of that. I was BRICS Sherpa for some years. You see, BRICS has in its DNA the acceptance of diversity. This is very important. This is why the group has stuck together for so many years, because always the vision was, let's concentrate on what unites us, where these countries, starting with 4 countries, then 5 countries, converge on their vision and interest in the multilateral arena. So I think that from a conceptual or spiritual point of view, I would say, BRICS has been preparing for an enlargement. So, and then a point I think it's important to emphasize is that BRICS these days is one of the few groups, big groups, where you can discuss the main challenges faced by humanity, climate change, hunger, health, diseases, etc. Why? Based on the assumption that these challenges have to be faced and acted upon jointly, and always based on consensus. And this is not a small thing these days, as you know. Yeah.
So, do you think the principles outlined in the Kazan 2024 declaration will effectively shape the outcomes of this BRICS summit?
Well, I think there are a very solid base. This is where we are building on that. BRICS presidencies always build on the previous presidencies. So this is why we say that the BRICS also has a key, you know, a heritage, I would say.
Ambassador, de-dollarization has been one of the major concerns and has been one of the focal points with regards to the agenda of the BRICS. So what steps is Brazil going to take to advance de-dollarization and, for that matter, alternative payment method at the summit?
Well, let me just at the outset saying that de-dollarization is not a goal in itself. When BRICS is discussing new payment platforms, the possibility of having trade in our local currencies, it's about giving business more options in light of the geopolitical and economic developments of the world, and mindful of the fact that BRICS countries make up 40% of the world GDP. So we can trade in our local currencies, but it's not a set objective to de-dollarize. It's up to the business community to make choices. You know that in our regional integration process, Mercosur, we have been having the possibility of local currencies trade for more than 25 years. So it's, you know, for us, it's no novelty. For Brazil, it's no novelty.
So, 2 new members, Russia and Iran, both are involved in some conflicts. Are these geopolitical conflicts going to be addressed in the agenda in the BRICS Summit?
Yeah, there are no taboos among BRICS members. I think this is one I think, one of our strong points. We discuss among ourselves all issues. And you saw that the group managed to issue a reasonable, good statement on the attack on Iran. Yeah, I don't know if you had the opportunity of going through. It's a very balanced text which clearly condemns aggression against international law, against the Charter of the UN, right?
We talk about the members participating this year in the summit. How do you see President Xi not coming this time around and participating in the summit?
Well, this was, of course, his option, taking into account, I think, his schedule, I think his assignments. But let me just remind that the President of China was in Brazil for the G20, was also on a state visit to Brazil. He met also President Lula in other occasions. So there is no dearth of contacts between Brazil and China. So I do not see this as a development, as something that has to be interpreted, really.
My last question to you, Ambassador. With the Prime Minister's scheduled state visit to Brazil, how do you think India-Brazil ties will shape the outcomes of the summit?
You know, again, as a BRICS old-timer, you know, Brazil and India has always coordinated a lot within BRICS because we are two big democracies. We have a coincidence of values, a reasonable coincidence also of interests. So this is a tradition, you know. I have worked also not only in BRICS with India, but also in Geneva, in WTO and WIPO. We always coordinated closely. So this has been always like this, I would say.
Meanwhile, viewers, former Brazil President Jair Bolsonaro rallied thousands of supporters to